proposed opportunity grant can affect you.
And a recent survey shows that many Cal Poly students are going hungry. How many people actually know these stats is shocking.
And later, see how a senior project turned into an empowering movement for women in San Luis Obispo.
Broadcasting from Swanson Studios, you're watching Mustang News.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News. Today is Thursday, March 1st. I'm Shanti Herzog.
And I'm Sydney Brandt. Here are the top stories for this week. Cal Poly's proposed opportunity grant has been met with pushback from many students. Mustang News reporter Austin Linthicum gathered several students' opinions on the issue.
While Cal Poly is among the cheapest California schools to attend for out-of-state students, it may surprise you that it's also the most expensive public school in the state for low-income students.
High-achieving, low-income students say no to enrollment in Cal Poly at a higher rate than higher-income students. So that's the problem we're trying to solve.
Enter the Cal Poly Opportunity Grant. The proposed increase of $2,010 starting this fall for incoming out-of-state students is designed to provide financial aid to cover Cal Poly's extra fees for low-income STEM majors, allowing students of all backgrounds to attend.
Have excelled because we're so selective. We have a market that is high demand.
The goal of the grant is to make Cal Poly's demographics align with California's as a whole, something President Armstrong says is critical to the university's continued success.
Any employers, and it's clear in the tech field that diversity is an issue, and not just ethnic diversity, but economic diversity.
The fee will be phased in $2,010 increments until it reaches $8,040 in 2021. The university will continue to cap all out-of-state students at 15%. Campus administration is encouraging students to submit feedback for the proposed fee online and attend open forums throughout the month. However, tensions rose when little time was left for questions and attendees were restricted from sharing comments.
I think that they need to communicate better with students about what it is, all the implications, and they need to be receiving more student feedback and more student input when making decisions.
Others say Cal Poly's diversity comes in many forms and the fee increase will block out-of-state and, in Luke Spiegel's case, out-of-country students from applying.
You know, we get so many experiences from people, people who've lived in different places, speak different languages, that kind of stuff, not just from out-of-state places like Arizona, Utah. We get people from India, Korea, in my case, Britain, Australia. I can tell you straight off, I would not be going to Cal Poly if the fees were at the level they want to increase them to.
Austin Linthicum, Mustang News.
While the decision is ultimately up to Cal Poly administration, students can submit feedback on the opportunity grant on their portal until March 14th.
According to a recent Cal Poly study, 26.9% of students are reported being food insecure, and 12.3% of students reported being homeless. Sydney and I took to the streets to see what students thought of these numbers.
No, I wasn't really aware of that, no.
I mean, I figured it'd be an issue, but not that high. Hearing that is a little concerning. It shocks me that 1 in 4 people would have that problem because I just don't know very many people who do.
No, I mean, looking around, it kind of looks like everyone has food and everything, so I wouldn't guess that was a problem at all.
I did know about the food insecure one. I did not know about the homeless one.
I don't know, I guess it's interesting to hear because, you don't notice that being around. And I guess I kind of go about my life, I don't really think about those things.
No, I've never met anyone at Cal Poly.
I do know actually a handful of people that are food insecure.
I know that the numbers exist, but I don't see it on a day-to-day basis. It's definitely something that people are afraid to share to their peers and afraid to share up to the right resources.
I think it's something that most students don't really, aren't aware of, and I think that's really hard because, I've known friends that have sleeping in their car and not known, and they keep a straight face when they're in class and they still have academics and social life to keep account of.
I feel like they're actually surprisingly high and that Cal Poly should do something about it, because I feel like diet and nutrition is actually a major part in success and academic performance.
Girls Who Handle It, a senior project by Cal Poly student Julia Freet, will be on display in downtown SLO tomorrow, March 2nd. This empowering project will highlight the struggles that many women go through beyond what is represented on their social media accounts. Freet teamed up with local photographer and Cal Poly graduate Asia Croson, and the two have put together a powerful art exhibit.
The point of the project is to really highlight the the women and just the struggles that they've been through that they felt like they can't share on their Instagram or Facebook or any sort of social media because of those kind of anti-vulnerability norms that we face on a day-to-day basis.
And how they're handling it.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you are interested in checking out the exhibit, stop by 790 Marsh Street at 7 p.m. this Friday.
And don't go away, I'm Lauren Ibsen, and after the break, I'll have your weekend forecast.
In this day and age, everybody gets their news from social media, and my team's pretty much in charge of making sure that Mustang News has a great presence across all social media platforms. Whether that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat, we want to make sure that our news is reaching our audience. At Mustang News, we're truth tellers. We're student media, but we're going to do our best to tell the truth of our people and the voices of the Cal Poly campus.
I think art is something that doesn't go appreciated that much, especially at a polytechnic campus. We have a lot of engineering and architecture focus, and we want to try to focus a lot of our arts writing on structural design and architecture design and things that relate to Cal Poly, but through the arts. I think good journalism comes from unbiased reporting, and I think we do a really good job at making sure that everything.
I manage a team of MMJs, multimedia journalists, who cover all news on campus, from administration to student life to any protests that happen on campus. We really just have our finger on the pulse of Cal Poly. Journalism is reporting on the facts at all times because we have to, regardless of whether or not people may disagree.
Good afternoon, San Luis Obispo. I'm Lauren Ibsen here with your weekly weather forecast. So today, it's obviously a cold one. We've already seen some scattered rain throughout the morning, a high of 57 and a low of 46 today, with wind advisory heading into 3 p.m. and then until 3 a.m. Looking at North County, we're going to have some pretty consistent temperatures all throughout. 57 is our highest temperature in San Luis Obispo, and then our lowest in Paso Robles and Creston at 42 degrees. South County and extended, a little bit higher temperatures, but still very cold today. So 57 in Arroyo Grande, 57 in Napomo, 59 Guadalupe, and then our lowest at 56 down in Vandenberg. And it might not be the best day to tan at the beach today with cold temperatures all along the coast, with our highest temperature at 58 degrees in Pismo. Looking at our 5-day weather forecast, Thursday and Friday, be sure to expect some rain. Whip out the umbrella, it's definitely going to be needed. And then looking at our weekend, we're going to get a little more sunshine, but still pretty cold. So do your best to stay dry out there and enjoy the weekend. Eric with sports.
Hello everyone, my name's Eric Engel, and here is your weekly sports update. The Cal Poly men's basketball team is heading to UC Santa Barbara Saturday for another matchup of the Blue-Green rivalry. I asked students around campus what their favorite moments from the rivalry were.
I think I actually had one to a Blue-Green rivalry last year for a basketball game, and that was pretty cool too, so it should be a good matchup.
I mean, Luke hitting those walk-off free throws, I mean, to win the game, like, that's just once-in-a-lifetime type of deal, and I mean, I'm glad we was on the winning side. Just crazy, everybody, fans screaming and stuff, cheering, and every time they scored, just people going crazy. It was just a great thing to be a part of and a great thing to witness too.
The men's basketball team is going to take on UC Santa Barbara this weekend. What's your prediction for that game?
I think we're going to win. It's going to be a close game, but we're going to win.
This season, the Mustangs are 7-5-2 against the Gauchos. The Cal Poly baseball team fell in a non-conference matchup Tuesday night to San Jose State University. Despite jumping out to an early 2-0 lead, the baseball team struggled to gain footing against the Spartans. The Mustangs hit well for the most part, hitting 2 triples and 4 doubles, but they grounded into 3 double plays and left 12 base runners stranded. Defensively, the Mustangs committed 3 errors, which ended up being the difference in the loss. The final score was 7-4 in favor of the Spartans. The Mustangs host the University of Pacific for a 4-game series this weekend starting on Friday. When we come back, more news for you with Shanti and Sydney.
The thing about broadcast is it's not just on paper, so now you're actually seeing people's emotions and their reactions, and I think you just really learn a lot by being able to go face to face and also have a camera and capture those emotions. And broadcast is so fun in my opinion because you can take what you see and show it to your audience and show them exactly what you're witnessing or other people are witnessing at the moment.
Our mission for this year is to basically get the news first so that Cal Poly students are aware. Like there have, so far to start off the beginning of the year, there have been things such as like parking and bus routes, and students have so many questions about that, and so that kind of goes to what I want to do for this year, and is I want to get that information out to students. Good journalism means that we are getting the story out, but that it includes all the information, that it answers all the questions that people are asking.
Internships are a key part of the college experience. While most students have 1 to 2 internships during their time here, reporter Kayla Berenson spoke to a student with a unique story.
Nick Fifield has had a unique internship experience during his time at Cal Poly, already having 2 hands-on internships under his belt and getting ready for a 3rd one this summer.
I was an apprentice, and basically what that is that it's like the first level of being a carpenter. And so being on a high-rise building in Los Angeles is definitely one of the most unique experiences that I feel like a college freshman could have.
Fifield says the best way for construction management students to get the types of internships and the number of internships he's had is to show a genuine interest in the companies.
Even if they don't have the best of grades and maybe not taking as many CM classes, but at least just being out there and being interested in what other people are doing and like interested in your work, I feel like that's what people really value in the field.
Kayla Berenson, Mustang News.
The legalization of recreational marijuana here in California has created a stir in San Luis Obispo County. On January 1st, the state began issuing temporary licenses to recreational businesses, but the same businesses also need to receive permits from the counties or cities where they plan to operate. Speculation of dispensaries has circulated around the county. Within San Luis Obispo County, each city has been given jurisdiction, but as a whole are either not interested or not ready to move forward with recreational pot dispensaries, except for Grover Beach and Ariana Grande, who plan to embrace the growing industry. While they are only serving medical patients, they plan to open their services up to the recreational community.
I think the effects of walk-in dispensaries being legalized here in SLO are going to be huge for the county. And I think the county has a great potential to really reap some incredible benefits from the allowance of these dispensaries to operate. And, you know, some of those things, perhaps most importantly, are the tax dollars and revenue that's going to generate for the county.
2 Cal Poly students have created a new app. Mustang News reporter Callan Hobman has the story.
Computer science seniors Colin Dutter and Ethan Harlig have created an app that allows organizations to communicate efficiently with their designated drivers. Titled Ride Tracker, this app acts almost like a personalized Uber.
Orchard Road. When I hit done, I have 2 people, and I hit request to ride.
Dutter and Harlig's fraternity, like many others on campus, have members act as designated drivers for the other fraternity members each weekend. Originally, fraternity members had to communicate with the drivers with simple phone calls.
Both on the passenger side and the driver's side, it's kind of a pain just because from the passenger to get a ride, you have to call.
Sorry about those technical difficulties. Thank you for joining us here on Mustang News. I'm Shanti Herzog.
And I'm Sydney Brandt. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend.